Hi friends, yesterday we have discussed, in the last video we have discussed building functions theory part. So today we'll do practice a few important building functions in Google Colab. So before that you need to download the Python software. So www.python.org/downloads, you need to come on this page. So here there are various versions and you can see here latest version you need to download as per your PC requirements. Where Python for Windows 8, 7, say, 10, 11, whether it's your laptop or computer or based on 64-bit, 34-bit. You need to check this all and you need to download this Python software. So then you need to check it. Wait. Then you need to go through here. In the Google you need to type here Google Colab. You will get it like this. First link you need to click on this first link. Actually the Colab, it's a short form. The full form is Colaboratory. Okay, Colaboratory. Welcome to the Laboratory. So you need to click on this. You will get this page. So you need to click on the new notebook, right? So wait for few seconds. So here you will get it like this, untitled. This actually this is your file name, IPY Python notebook. Actually it's a Python notebook. So here uh, so here we can practice some building functions. Today we'll practice in Google Colab. So you can use Jupyter also. As you are convenient, you can use either Google Colab or Jupyter or some other IDEs you can use. So here first we'll practice today print function. So yesterday I explained the what's the utilization of print function, type function, input with examples. I explained in the previous video. Actually in the print function, it display the content stored in a variable, as I told you in the previous video. Okay, so if you want to write some side heading, so you need to click on this uh, text cell, right? So here wait, text cell, text cell. Then here I'll write it here print print function first. Then if you want to execute the cell, whether code cell or text cell, you need to uh, you need to press shift plus enter. Okay, please remember, please note down this it's a very most important. Whether you're using Jupyter or whether you're using Google Colab, you need to press shift plus enter, then code cell will be execute. Okay. Here, so uh, as I told you, the print function, it's defined to display the content stored in a variable. Print function क्यों यूज होता, क्या है प्रिंट फंक्शन इन दी पाइथन? सो ये डिस्प्ले करता है आप अगर कोई वेरिएबल बनाए, ठीक है? सो वेरिएबल बनाया, वेरिएबल बनाने के बाद उसमें एक डेटा टाइप डालते हैं आप, ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद उसको रन करते हैं, तो ये डिस्प्ले करता है आपका, यानी कि आपको एक आउटपुट बताता है. It will show the output, means it's display the content stored in a variable. For example, I will now I am going to create a variable a equals to 10, right? A equals to 10, then enter. I'll print a. Okay, so see here one data type I kept in a variable. What's the data type here? 10. Okay, it's an integer I kept in a variable a. Okay, for example, I created a folder. In that folder I kept one file. Okay, result, for example, in my result file I kept in that. So that file is a data, data, any type of the data. Okay, a value. The folder will be a variable. Same thing here also, I created a variable a equals to 10. Now I'll print the a variable. So then you need to execute the cell, shift plus enter. So it will print a. फोल्डर के अंदर है क्या? वो बताएगा आपको. What is the inside in the variable? It's a time 10. Okay, it's a 10. The output will be 10. So here I will use a type function. Now after that I will use a type function. What is the type of the data type? I can check it here. So as I told you in the previous video, type function, it's a display the data type of the content stored in a variable. So I'll use the type function type. See here, small letters I am using here type. Here also I used small alphabets print, print. Okay, so for example, if I use here capital P instead of small p, so you will get an error. Okay, so as I told you, you need to use small letters, right? Then execute the cell, so you'll get it time. Now type of A. So you can able to see here. It's a, what's the type of the data? It's a integer. It's a integer. If I write in the if I created the variable a equals to 10.5, okay, when I will execute the cell, so the output will be 10.5. The type of the variable a is, it's a float. Got it? It's a float, right? For example, I'll create a name. I will create a variable name is name is equals to, I'll write it here, Hassan. Okay, then wait, then I'll print name. So it is now it's print. We got the output Hassan. So now we'll check the type of variable name. So now you can see here it says string. It says string. So if I change here in the variable, inside in the variable, instead of Hassan, I'll write it here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's an integer. Okay. When I will run this code cell, its output it gives you output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of Hassan, because I encompass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between the double quotes. Okay. So when I will run this type function, so even though if you are using integer, it shows here string. As I told you in the previous video, in the double inverted commas, see अगर डबल इन्वर्टेड कॉमास या ट्रिपल हो या सिंगल हो, उसमें अगर लोग सोचते हैं कि कुछ सोचते हैं कि इसमें अगर अल्फाबेट्स है तो वही स्ट्रिंग होता है, नहीं, इट्स रॉन्ग. Okay, anything encompass in between the double quotes or single quotes, whether it's an integer, float or alphabets, it comes under string only. So it will show the output string only. The type of the variable will be string only. So I will change to here, so you can practice at your side. Okay, the output Hassan. See here I can use one function, length function. Length बोलते हैं ना, लेंथ कितनी उसकी बोल के बोलते हैं ना, वही लेंथ फंक्शन भी यहाँ पे यूज करते हैं, लेकिन आपको यहाँ पे शॉर्ट फॉर्म यूज करना है इसका. यू नीड टू यूज दिस शॉर्ट फॉर्म, द लेन, len only, not len gth. Okay, so here length of name. What is the variable here created? We have created the variable here name. So when I will execute this cell, ये लेंथ बताएगा कितना, लेंथ कितना है हसन का, देखिए 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ओके, सो इसका लेंथ बताएगा कि ये 6 अल्फाबेट्स है. ओके, लेंथ ऑफ द, so we can use the length function also. So then next I'll use input function. Now you got it now. What is the utilization of print function, type function, length function, और क्या है अब now input function. Okay, so for input also यहाँ पे एक चीज और समझा देता हूँ मैं आपको. मैं यहाँ पे see here, आपको previous video I told the rules. If you want to create a variable, there are some rules Okay, you cannot the for example here you cannot use the numbers, you cannot use the numbers as a variable. For example, if I use here 1827 is equal to uh, Hassan, then if you print 1827, so it will gives you error. It's 100%. Okay, it will gives you error because as I told you, we cannot use the numbers, we can use the alphabets, you can use the small letters, we can use the capital letters, no issue. You can use the numbers also, but at last of the your alphabets you can use. For example, previously I have used the name Hassan, so here also I can use name 16. Okay, then I'll print the name name 16. It will execute, see here. Now got it, Hassan? It will execute, right? So we can give the number at the end of the variable, okay, or but we cannot use the numbers at beginning of the variable. For example, if I created the name 16 name variable, here also if I print 16 name, okay, if you run this code, it gives you error, again. Okay, for example, if I use instead of 16, if I use the underscore, shall I use the underscore? Yeah, I can use underscore, special character. In special character I can use only underscore. If you run this code, it will it will run. Okay, it will run. So see, I think I can't use here hash. I can't use here hash. If you run this code, again you will get the error. So in the special character only you can use underscore, but you cannot use hash, star, dollar symbol. I cannot use. Okay, for example, I created a variable. Wait. For example, I created a variable. The variable name is data type. See here, data type. If you print the variable data type, ty, the data type, when I will execute this cell, it gives you error. Why? You see, in the previous video, I have written. Okay, we clearly I explained. You cannot use the space, okay, in between the variable name, but we can use instead of space. I can use here underscore. I can use underscore. कभी भी आपको स्पेस यूज करना है तो आप अंडरस्कोर यूज करिए वहां पे, ठीक है. नाउ इट विल रन. ओके, सो ये थे कुछ रूल्स थे. आपको बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपको ये you need to know these rules. Okay, you need to know these rules. Now got it, these rules. अभी हम पढ़ेंगे input function. The next function is input function. Okay, shall I write the any any heading name? For example, I'll write shall I write the input function or input with a round bracket here in the code cell? No, I can't write. For example, see here, this code cell, you have created the variable name data underscore type. Okay, so here actually I tried to explain the rules in this code cell. Okay, what are the rules are there in the if you want to create a variable? So see here, if I write as a cited rules in the code cell, if I run this code cell, you will get an error. See here, you will get an error because you can't use any writing part in the code cell, but you can use if you if you if you are writing part along with the hash, so that line will not be executed. Okay, the remaining part will be executed. So here I have written the rules. Okay, if I execute this cell, it will execute, it will show you the Hasan. ओके गॉट इट. सो कौन से भी आपको कोड सेल में अगर आपको कुछ लिखना है तो आप यूज करिए हैश एंड यू कैन राइट एनीथिंग दैट written part will not execute. Okay, will not execute, otherwise you will get an error. Okay, then next is input function. Input function. So here I will create a variable. Here I will create a variable. My underscore name is equals to input. Input function क्यों use करते हैं? To take input function is used to take input from the user. Input function is used to take input from the user. For example, already I told in the previous video, if for example if I create a variable my name equals to Hassan. Okay, if you run this code you will get the Hassan now, but it is not valid for the all the people. Okay, if you want to run this code your name will be different. Okay, so you cannot do like that. It is invalid for you but it is valid for me. So at that moment I can use input function. So here I created a variable. That variable name is my underscore name. I am using the input function here. So round bracket with inverted commas, double quotes. So I'll write it here, enter your name, enter your name. Okay, when I will execute this cell it will ask you, okay, with the help of a small pop-up on the display, enter your name. So here you need to write your, if your name is John, J-O, John, okay, then enter this. Okay, then print my name, so it will execute, the output will be John. Okay, enter your name. When you will enter John, then print your variable name, so it will show your name John. Okay, for example if your name is Ravi, if your name is Ravi, then press enter, then execute the print your variable name, then it will execute, the output will be Ravi. So I mean to say here, if you use the input function, okay, then enter your name, it's valid for all. Okay, it's valid for you, it's valid for some another person. Okay, and it's valid for me also. So इसलिए हम यहाँ पे इनपुट फंक्शन का यूज करते हैं. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे क्या है, अब हम टाइप देख लेंगे. टाइप ऑफ द नेम, TYPE टाइप. व्हाट इज द वेरिएबल नेम हियर? माय नेम. Simply I will write it here, my name. When I will execute this code cell, so ये क्या है, string है. ठीक है, ये क्या है, string है. It shows the whatever you have written inside the inverted commas, encompass within the inverted commas, that is string. Okay, so you have written Ravi, it's a string. If I write it here instead of name, if I write here 1 2 3 4 5, then enter, then execute this cell. Okay, so then again execute the type cell, still it will be string. As I told you, still it will be string, because whatever you are writing inside the double quotes, okay, so it will act as a string only, because it's within the double quotes. Okay, so even though it's a integer or float, it will show you the type of the variable name, it will be string only. ओके। बट अगर आपको यहाँ पे यूज करना है number, for example, if you purchase something, if you shopping with your credit card, you will get some OTP. OTP का full form क्या है? One time password. You will get the one time password, OTP, one time password. So one time password will be always, it's a integer, not float. Even though it's not a float, it's a integer, you know, it's a whole number. मुझे पता नहीं कि मैं कभी उसमें फ्लोट नंबर टाइप किया हूँ या नहीं तो कोई अल्फाबेट टाइप किया हूँ ओटीपी में। नो, ऑलवेज इट विल बी ए integer only. So at that moment, if I want to write the integer, so we need to change something here. So we are using typecasting. For that purpose we can use the typecasting. So I'll write it here, uh, along with hash I will write it here, type typecasting. जो मैं अभी समझाने जा रहा हूँ वो typecasting है. It's a very most important. Okay, यहाँ पे I can write it here, star mark, star. Okay, it's important. Okay, it's important topic, typecasting. Okay, so here in typecasting, typecasting होता क्या है? I'll write it simple definition here. It's restricting restricting it's restricting the input. It's restricting the input. ओके, ये रेस्ट्रिक्ट का मतलब तो आपको पता है कि कोई चीज से आपको रोकना। ओके, यूजर को यहाँ पे रोक रहा है कि आपको सिर्फ इंटीजर ही यहाँ पे टाइप करना है। इफ यू टाइप अल्फाबेट्स, इफ यू टाइप float, you will get an error. Okay, the your OTP will not be valid for that. Okay, so it will show you it's your OTP will be wrong. You cannot use your alphabets, you cannot use your float decimal numbers. Okay, so here it's restricting. ओके, कि यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ यूज करना है इंटीजर, वी कैन नॉट यूज फ्लोट, वी कैन नॉट यूज स्ट्रिंग. ओके, दैट इज comes under the typecasting. It's important, it's a utilization. This type, for this type of situation, this for this type of problems, we need to use the typecasting. So I'll write it here, OTP is equals to int. Okay, uh, first I'll run this code without integer. Okay, OTP equals to input, we'll see, we'll check it first, enter your 4-digit OTP. Okay, when I will execute this, it will ask you the OTP. Okay, OTP यहाँ पे पूछ रहा है, तो आई एम राइटिंग here 1 2 3 4. Okay, then again I'll print print OTP. See here, it's printing the OTP 1 2 3 4. See here, instead of integer, here shall I write alphabets? I think I can write here alphabets AS12. Enter. Then print OTP. It gives you AS12 because it's not a typecasting. It's a simple. We are using input function here. But in the typecasting, what we are doing here, restricting the input. Okay, so that we need to use here the code int. Open the round bracket, then again we need to here we need to type input function, input, then again open the round bracket with a double or single this code. You need to write enter your 4-digit OTP. See here, again we need to use round bracket because we have using two open round brackets, so we need to close with two round brackets. Okay, now I will execute this cell. Execute this cell. Here I am writing 2 3 5 4, then enter. Then I will run this code cell. See here, you won't get any error because it's a integer. You got the output 2 3 what 2 3 5 4. For example, here I will write the OTP uh, floating it floating float decimal number. I will write here decimal number 2 3 4 and one decimal number I will enter here 1.2. See here, you will get an error because here it's restricting the input to the user. समझ में आ गया ना? तो we cannot use here float number, we cannot use here alphabets, we only here able to use integer. Okay, so यहाँ पे अब एक बार प्रैक्टिस कर लो, अभी एक बार देख लो कि यहाँ पे मैं दबाऊंगा यूज करूंगा 1 to AS. See again we'll get the error. Okay, so बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है ये टाइप कास्टिंग. सो ये रेस्ट्रिक्ट होता है यहाँ पे आपको यूजर को कि आपको सिर्फ यहाँ पे इंटीजर ही यूज करना है. 5 6 7 8. ओके, एंटर. when I will see here this code is executed, then I will execute this code, print OTP. So 5 6 7 8. So I think you understood very well this very most important built-in functions. So here थोड़ा सा और समझा दूंगा आपको. यहाँ पे एक रॉन्ड फंक्शन भी बता दूंगा, एक रॉन्ड फंक्शन भी बताऊंगा यहाँ पे आपको. हाँ, ये रॉन्ड फंक्शन. so b equals to I will create the variable b equals to 22 by 7. Then I will create b, you're getting some value. After there is a it's a float value, but it's a very big value. So if you want to reduce this after point, only if you want to get only 3 numbers, okay, remaining should be, if you want to delete this or you need to avoid this remaining value, so you need to use the round function here. So instead of print I will use here round function. So write it here round round b comma, if you want only 3 digit after point, so I will write it here b comma 3. So you will get only 3 numbers after 3, right? If you want 5 numbers, so you can get it 5 numbers after point. If you want only round value 3, so you'll get it 3, you will get it 3. okay, so इस तरीके से हम round function को use करते हैं. So if you like this video, please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.